Hello, my fellow pod pilots of New Eden. My name is Eddie Rio, and this is PvP RoamAntics, episode 9. So we got a little bit of a mixed bag here, and let's get straight into it. This first fight was literally, I think it was the first low-sec jump that I made in one of my Vexes, and there was a cyclone straight away on the gate, and I thought, well, he's probably not going to go for me, but you know, there's different ways of trying to entice people to start shooting you. I guess reapproaching back to the gate isn't always the best one, because they might not engage you because they think, oh, he's just going to jump out. So I kind of aligned towards him a little bit to make it look as if I was going towards him, but he aggressed anyway, so that's all good. You know, I'm remembering back in the day when we used to jump into people's missions and steal their loot and try and get them to aggress us so that we could aggress them back and stuff. And there's lots of little tricks that you can do to get people to aggress you, rather than, you know, there's multiple ways of jumping into a system. And if someone sees you decloak immediately and try and warp off, they might be more inclined to sort of lock you, whereas if you hold cloak and reapproach, or, you know, you've just got to try and get in the mindset of that other person perhaps sat in the gate. Really weird bug here. I don't know if anyone else has had this, but it's happened a few times to me. My screen goes like completely white and I've got to zoom in really far to kind of get rid of it. But that does mean that I zoom really close into my ship and you get to see all the explosions and the effects taking place, and that looks actually loads better than zoomed out and looking at a box. So the fight's going really well. I'm in half armour and the Cyclone has completely lost his shields. I think he's also run out of his ancillary shield booster charges, which he had fitted, and you know, it's now just a matter of time of getting him, and I've got plenty of tank left, so I'm not too worried. An Atron's come in, is also whoring onto the kill, which I don't really mind. I'd probably do the same if I was coming near as well. So we're just left to watch the lovely pretty explosion as his Cyclone breaks into pieces across the universe to my guns and drones. Pretty cool fight that. One I keep seem to getting is the sort of battle cruiser on the other side and I'm in a cruiser, and because I've got the tank and the gate guns on my side, you always seem to come out on top. Now I'm back in the Vexer. I have got some help in this one with Atwa, who is in a different system, and I'm going to get the fight started. Now, what's on the field wasn't what's on the field earlier. There was a Harbinger also on the field, but he's disappeared somewhere now. But this Bellicose starts taking gate gun fire really quickly, and I just miss getting the scram off on him there, which is really disappointing. I've already told Atwa to come in and warp to me because I thought I was going to get that guy. But that guy warped away, and I thought, oh crap, perhaps, you know, it's just going to be a frig. But then a Brutix warps in just at the perfect time and starts aggressing me, so we switch right over to the Brutix and start applying DPS to him. That Harpy had a really good tank on him, so I just kind of thought I'll leave him, let him warp out, and we'll focus on this Brutix, because I know that my drones and my guns will hit him a lot harder and we'll be able to do a lot more damage to him, especially now that Atwa's turned up in his Mauler, and I think it's kind of like a DPS nano Mauler type fit, which is a bit sort of out the box, but it seemed to work really well. So as you can see, that Brutix is pretty much dead. There's not much more he can do. My armour is doing really well. I'm keeping it repped up to full. I'm pretty sure that other things are going to warp in, which is why I'm sort of trying to keep myself repped up as fully as I can. I'm not sort of baiting it in any way here. And then an Enyo comes in. I've told Atwa to point the Enyo, which he did do, and then we swap over DPS to that, and then we managed to kill that as well. Enyo's also got a really good tank on him. Not sure what he was fit, but he did really well. He lasted longer than I thought he was going to then. They also warped a Demos in towards the end, but the Demos just jumped out of system and we didn't get to fight it. Here I've just got a couple of clips of getting back to gate, and I kind of have this quite often. I was in a shield fit Celestis that I've been playing with at the moment, and it's the kind of thing where you jump into a camp and your only option is to try and reapproach the gate and jump out, so you've got to try and tank it, and that one was quite close. But if you watch this one here, it gets even closer. So I've got like a Loki and a Sacrilege on me, and the DPS coming in is massive, and I've got both my reppers going on, and I'm sort of slipping into hole there. I'm webbed down, I'm slowly moving back towards the gate, but I pretty much just make it out in time. Managed to dock up, get a few more boosters ready for the next fight, which, as they usually are in the worlds of EvE, are a bit weird. And in the station, if you notice, I aggress the Daredevil, I think it was, and then the Mauler starts to take gate gun aggro and start aggressing me, so I just switch straight over to him. There's two Auguras there, and I was 99% sure that they were with this guy and they were going to start repping him up, so I didn't really know what I was going to do. I thought maybe I could switch to the Auguras, and I thought I could at least tank this guy for a while. I might be able to get an Augura kill if he didn't dock up in time or something. And then the Auguras just dock up or warp away and leave this guy to die. And it later turned out he thought that they were going to rep me as well, so that was quite funny. So it's just kind of a 1v1 on the station here, and luckily I've got the gate guns on my side, which helped me enough to make the kill. So I'm playing some more station games with a couple of people in this system. They've got a Prophecy and a Vexer. The Prophecy I can aggress, and the Vexer I'm thinking, well, maybe he'll be stupid enough to GCC on me. They're both in the same alliance, so I know that they're working together, and it's just playing those station games really. And bang, there the Vexer aggresses, so I'm thinking, right, I'll just swap straight over to that Vexer and try and kill him. I was expecting the Prophecy to aggress me, but it never actually happened. So he just kind of left this Vexer to deal with the situation himself, which isn't the best thing to do for your alliance mates, is just sit there. And perhaps if the Prophecy aggressed me as well, it would have been a lot closer fight, or I might have even possibly died a lot quicker. So it was kind of good that his alliance mate didn't aggress me, but I think that perhaps he was just a bit nervous to engage or something. But anyway, I got a really easy Vexer kill there, and it's sometimes, you know, you might have come out really badly in that fight, and statistically it looked like I should have died quite easily, but the mistakes of people can swing it in your direction and make you get the win. So I start playing with them for a bit more, and I smack them in local a little bit, or not smack, but just, you know, try and entice them back into another fight and see if they want to come out for round 2 basically. And they bring a Typhoon and a Rupture out, and the Typhoon aggresses me and's got heavy newts, so I start moving away from him immediately, and the Rupture also just comes out to chase me. So I think, wicked, as soon as this Rupture comes out, I'm just going to switch over to him and kill him. The Typhoon is nowhere near enough to get his newts and any serious DPS on me, so I just slowly start shooting his drones and stuff like that while trying to take out the Rupture. I'm in the Stabber fleet issue, I forgot to mention that, as in the previous fight I was in the Stabber as well, and this is like the last Stabber fleet issue that I've got before my ISK runs out, which is getting ridiculous. I think I'm going to have to do a kind of spotlight on the Rifter or something and fly some cheap stuff for a while to stop splurging ISK the way that I am. But yeah, as you can see, I'm sort of having to tank quite hard to be able to get this Rupture, and I'm thinking if the Typhoon came out, or if he at least had his newts on me, I'd be pretty screwed. So I was lucky I made the kind of distance there to get away from the Typhoon so that I can take this Rupture out. And once the Rupture's out, I'm pretty much thinking about getting that Typhoon as well, but I know if I get too close, he's going to nuke me, and that's going to be my cap and my tank in turn gone. So I sort of skirt around the outside a little bit of him and think about engaging, but in the end I just leave it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Like I said, it was a bit of a mixed bag, and I did try and get a lot of sort of shield tank fights, but unfortunately I managed to derp really bad and lose a low grade clone set, which is a lot of ISK that I probably won't be able to pay back ever. So I'm not sure whether I'm going to go with active shield tank fits, just because the crystals make such a difference, especially when doing solo stuff. So I might kind of stink to buffer tanks and armour for the foreseeable future. So yeah, I hope you're enjoying this series. Please give it a like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you do enjoy these videos, because it just sort of lets me know if you want more of them. And if you haven't seen any more of these videos, if you click on the image on the screen, it will take you to the first one of the playlist and you can watch them all straight through. Till next time, fly safe.